time to settle up. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch. I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
Witam was bardzo serdecznie. Ja jestem Roka, to jest Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. Ciężko się nawet przywitać, ponieważ opowieść cały czas się toczy. Mamy punkty do wydania? Czemu by ich zatem nie wydać? Więcej pocisków do rewolweru? Jak najbardziej.
Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down.
Tak czy inaczej, jeżeli obejrzeliście uważnie wstęp, to zauważyliście pewnie, że historia robi się coraz bardziej osobista. Niebezpieczna sprawa. Bożeż jasny gwint. Biegiem, biegiem. Wszystko się sypie. No i proszę, co my tu mamy? Spiłowany karabin? Wow. Pozostanę przy swoim złotym.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Gdzie są przeciwnicy?
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that ridge.
What'd you say?
I can't hear a goddamn...
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Ładunki wybuchowe, których za bardzo używać nie lubię. Jestem strzelcem, jakby nie patrzeć.
Jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados.
Okay, quick shotter. Przeładujmy to. Moje złote rewolwery się znalazły.
Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Ktoś tu jeszcze żyje?
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Quickshotter ma swoją zaletę, potrafi szybko. O, tak się nie bawimy, trzeba drzwi wyważać. Załatwieni.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights, but I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway, so I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Strzelba mogłaby być niezła tutaj, co? Ale skąd tu strzelają, łajdaki? Tędy nie przejdziemy tak łatwo.
At times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Od razu weselej. Mamy sekret. Trochę pocisków. Ścigamy dalej.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You
hand.
mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Proszę bardzo. Historia robi się ciekawa. Zresztą cały czas jest.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? Retreat! Retreat! He's killing everybody! Hell's that coming? He'll kill us all!
Chodźcie tu, sanawabicze. Chciałem powiedzieć dranie, podłe dranie. Mam was.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left, and I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Come on! Dawać, dawać! Hihi. Przybywa łajdaków. Lub się ściele często i gęsto. Ledwo łajdaków widać.
I silenced all those guns. I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Spokój, spokój. Spokojnie, tylko spokojnie. Skupienie, większe skupienie.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America. They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
No to lecimy dalej, co?
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
Poważna sprawa, osobistej historii ciąg dalszy. Wilki wyją. Ciemno. Mroczno późny wieczór. I umiejętności, które warto by rozdać. Przeładowanie w biegu. Okej. Proszę. Tu tyle ciekawych rzeczy, a przegapiłem totalnie trapera. Spróbujmy troszkę zainwestować tutaj. Odporność na ataki. To jest do strzelby i do takich różnych rzeczy, ale zwiększenie ilości punktów uzyskiwanych w trybie koncentracji, a to się zawsze przydaje. Tak sobie myślę.
Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he?
Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
Who's shooting?
Oh!
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down. Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Poszukajmy wskazówek zatem. Nic ciekawego. Ach, kruchy? Trochę żeśmy tego znaleźli przez czysty przypadek. Szukajmy zatem dokładnie. Aha!
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific. The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports.
Ciekawie będzie się działo, co?
Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5.
75 dzieciaków. Jurny młodzieniec. Musiał to być.
Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Świetnie się to otoczenie zmienia i ta opowieść genialnie do tego pasuje. Słyszałem jakieś głosy.
What the hell?
But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Tego już nie
Having
roz...
removed the first one with
Przeładz.
dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Rewolwery są fantastyczne, ale nie są tak celne jak moja ulubiona strzelba. Sanawa. Dobra. Gdzie jesteście, podłe drany?
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
To był jakiś większy łajdak.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Takie sztuczki. Dokąd teraz? Dokąd teraz?
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually, there was a fourth charge impeding my progress.
Okej, żyjemy.
Are you some kind of maniac?
Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Wielki gość ze strzelbą. A, tam nikogo nie było. Każcie się, cwaniaki. Tak jest, ja już się rozgrzałem.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Gdzieś tutaj jest w okolicy okruch. Tylko gdzie? Okej. Gdzieś tutaj mi błyszczało? O!
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it.
O do licha.
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer.
Dawaj, dawaj, dawaj!
I knew that failure meant boom. Then Finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed that last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion.
No to nie było łatwe.
But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass, as I was not a young man anymore. Of course, I had to tread carefully. Otherwise, I could, well, die.
Stąpajmy zatem bardzo ostrożnie. Co by tych akurat historii nie słychać zbyt często. Słuchać. Nawet.
Kill that SOB! Make him bleed! Send him to perdition!
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
He's crazier than Kid Curry asked me.
Put out of here than a damn fruitcake!
No to było strzelanie, mości państwa. Stój bez ruchu. Albo ty.
Just when I thought
Why
things
that?
couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
For you to lay down and die!
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Mistake you'll ever make! That's up!
No co to, nie doleciało?
Still so I can kill you!
Zdajmy umiejętność. Co my tu mamy ciekawego? Więcej punktów.
Stupid contraption! Are you kidding me? You can't beat me! It's not fair!
Tu cię załatwimy.
Hey, I need some help here! Come on, boys! Take this sumbitch out! He's done! That's it for you! Guess you had enough, huh? You ain't seen like this cocksucker! Move it, boys! You know who I am!
Kończą się materiały wybuchowe. To łajda.
Lay down and die! I think he's scared! Yeah!
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Dobrze, niedobrze.
As fast as he was, I was just a bit faster.
Yeah.
And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him!
Widzieliście ten unik? Co zrobiłem?
Those were his last words. My name is Silas Greaves, and this is my story.